Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Dragon's Tome. I'm your host for this episode. I'm joined by my young friends, Pat and Rob. Say hi, Pat and Rob.
Hello, Pat and Rob.
Hi. Oh, the sides, they do split. Dad jokes abound. This is Dad Jokes and Dragons podcast where we make puns and discuss things.
That's your other one.
That is true. That is true. Anyways, we are on edition 54. It is a $3 again. We are in $3 land, and I don't think it'll ever.
No, let's just call it right now. It says we will never see another 250.
We'll see when it goes to 350. That's the question.
So this cover, we have a tree ent, an ent, and some face rocks. A lot going on in here. Anyone want to dissect?
Well, are these tree ents or are these haunted trees? Because it is October.
It's called Abomination. The name of the picture is called Abomination by Jack Crane. Mm-hmm. So I don't think it's so much tree ents. I think it is, like Pat said, it's more haunted trees.
Because one of them is carrying a club made of other haunted trees, so that's pretty meta.
maybe it's haunted trees who killed ents to have clubs out of.
Yeah. And then there's Lemmy's face is at the foot of the tree.
Oh yeah, I see it. He's got the old handle.
Mm-hmm. Ace of spades.
I never noticed those faces on there before. That's disturbing.
Ace of spades.
Oh. Well, I think William Shakespeare. Now Lemmy, I hadn't figured Lemmy, but then also maybe a Greek goddess, and then
it's
just maybe a Buddha, and then there's a little alligator, a little crocodile,
just for funsies. Maybe they're about to kill the crocodile and eat him. They look like very intent that they're about to grab the poor guy.
And one of the trees has a dragon butt. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, yeah. That's weird.
That's the weird part. Trees with teeth? Nah, that's okay.
Lips
dragon
is
butt?
more disturbing. The lips are much more disturbing than teeth.
He does have lips. Okay, so as Rob alluded, this is a Halloween-themed magazine, and inside we have... What?
That was Pat, not me.
Oh.
I was going to, but I never got a chance.
Just edit that out.
What did I do?
Post. We'll cut, and then we'll come back. Like Pat said, this is an October episode, so we've got some Halloween themes going on here. So, Rob, why don't you tell us? Why don't you break this egg and make an omelet? What's going on in the Dragon's Bumbles?
Well, the Dragon's Rumbles this time is a big one because it's an open letter from the guy who writes Phineas Fingers, and he's leaving Dragon to go to another magazine. He's gone. And that other magazine is the editor of that other magazine is none other than Timothy Cask.
Yay! Hi, yes. Tim.
Well, this other magazine called Adventure Gaming. I looked it up because it's famous, just like Dragon Magazine. This Adventure Gaming. Let's have an over/under. How many issues do you think it lasted?
4.
Okay, you did your due diligence. You did the research. 4 wouldn't, I don't think, have made enough of a splash. Is this Price is Right rules?
No, because that'd be unfair. You'd just say 5 and you'd win, or 4. Or I guess you say $1.
I could say $1 and you'd like, that's not what I asked.
I think 4 issues. I think it was on a quarterly
in the last 1 year?
Yeah.
Okay, because I was thinking it's going to be probably monthly. If you're going to make a magazine, you'd probably have a couple in the hopper. I'm going to say 7.
Jack is closer. The answer is 13. The answer is 13 issues before Adventure Gaming disappears. And, so Timothy Cask, you left Dragon, and you dragged poor Phineas Fingers here, and just to die. And I do love Jaquette's kind of reaction to it, because the AD guy who writes Phineas Fingers says, Oh, we're gonna have a lot of new products and stuff. Anywhere you could find usual TSR product stuff, but Jaquette has to say like they're not associated with us in any way, and it's a really cold goodbye. I have a feeling he felt betrayed.
Oh, I'm sure he did.
He did frame it like, "Oh, we're sad when anyone leaves, whether we've just thrown them out or they've left on their own."
Yeah,
just saying like, "Yeah, it's just another. It happens. Whatevs."
Yeah, the reason the guy left is because he's really good friends with Tim Kask, so he went to go help this guy out, but it didn't work. Yeah. So that's it. That's Old Dragon Rambles this month.
If I was starting a new endeavor and the only person that was willing to throw me a life preserver was the guy who was writing Phineas, I don't know. I'd have moved to Argentina and became a peanut farmer. Okay, so Patrick, what's your first article in this?
We are going to go to page 12.
Ooh. Ruins.
Ruins, eroded and risky but rewarding.
Well, This is a major one that takes most of the issues, so I can see why you chose this one.
This was a hard one because it did take a lot up. That being said, I thought it was a very good article with a nice alternative to dungeons. Instead of going into a dungeon, exploring a ruined city.
Yeah, it's unheard of back then. It's all about dungeons. So the idea of actually going out into the wilderness and doing things was...
Yeah. And it was a great filler with charts, if you needed them, including percentages of finding magical items or important items.
Yeah, it's kind of stuff they eventually find, like the Wilderness Guide or that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, I thought it was...
What was the other one? There was another one, too, that the Dungeoneers. Yeah.
Yeah.
My first thought was, and probably like most, a ruin is just going to be a dungeon above ground. You're wasting a lot of time on this. But like right off the hop, he's like, yeah, a dungeon has these things that you might want to, tricks and traps and stuff. But just think, there's a city up there. There's a hub of activity here. There's all these things that would be in ruins that are so wildly different. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm on board.
It's almost like ruins are better than dungeons, really, when you think about it. There's more options.
I kind of agree with that also.
More options, because he mentions druids in particular. You're a druid. Okay, we're going into a dungeon. Okay, well, most of my power sets is now mitigated to second place, third place.
He's one step behind a 5th level cleric.
Yeah.
All I know is never go into ruins because liches live there. That's all I know. I've learned that from Jack's game, and word of the wise, if you ever play with Jack, don't go into ruins. Liches live there.
Liches live there. Liches get stitches. So yeah, that was actually a very, very good article.
It says right there, under Table 1, monsters that may lair within ruins. Under L, Lich.
Jack, did you read this?
I did just to do this podcast because I'm a professional and
I thought you meant for your game. Did you read this?
No.
Yeah. So ruins. Anything else to say about ruins?
No, I mean, this is still, I think, it's still a strong article that if you wanted to use any ruin adventure in a D&D, any version of D&D, this would still work well for whoever's...
It just gives you ideas.
Yeah.
I think this was a forerunner of what the actual game has become, a more diverse, not doing dungeon runs, but
there's very few dungeons in actual Dungeons & Dragons anymore. I think that's rare.
I think dungeons have been usurped by ruins for decades now. So
I agree.
Yeah. So, okay. Well, that was also mine. Do I have a second and third? If I got a second, I might just say, hey, me and you, Pat, we are on the same page. I do have a second here. So we're going to just scramble over like a few possums looking for a...
like a gnome being, or some kind of hobbit being pushed up by a ranger?
Yes.
What page?
Fondled.
Sorry.
No. If you could ever just insert a hobbit fondling, you feel free to interrupt me at any point in time. 69.
69. Speaking of Hobbit fondly.
Is what I would like to do to a Hobbit. And coincidentally, it's bizarre of the bizarre. And I'm going to, in particular, I'm not going to do all of them, but they've got Edward J. Greenwood.
It's his official name.
Yes, someone decided to give him the full moniker. More feather tokens, and it is just these little, I don't know, maybe 10 not powerful but interesting and useful little tokens that are kind of in the same vein of something called Qualls or Quails feather token. And one of them, my favorite, I'm going to highlight, like the sword one, it turns into a sword. So if you could take it's like a coin that turns into a sword, so you can smuggle it in someplace. Interesting. There's some other ones, but one called Arbor, and it turns the person into a tree. So you could just blend in with.
It's like a spy thing. That's cool.
So if you were being chased in the woods, you would just use this token, and
that's pretty fun.
All of a sudden, yep. So that they were all quite interesting and quite useful, but in a non-power gamer kind of way, which I do appreciate.
Although I just read that tree one, if you go, it unlike the Druidic tree spell, you lose all self awareness and go into a dreamlike state. You remain so for 7 to 84 days. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's a little extreme. I guess people would abuse it otherwise, but that's nuts.
Yeah, I suppose there's got to be. Well, it is a magic item and hard to.
Letting somebody turn into a tree, I don't think is a bad thing. Yeah. No,
it is a bit excessive. It's like getting put in federal prison for scaring children with a scream mask. Anyways, Rob, what do you have another article that you want to highlight?
I haven't done any articles yet, so yes.
Oh.
We're going to go page 14. 14. It's actually page 16, actually. 14 in the book, 16 on the PDF. These are the breaks. Weapon damage and AD&D action.
Oh, this is one of mine.
It's not so much weapon damage. It's more, well, it is kind of weapon damage, but it's not like...
actually, it's that one. Oh, no, this is my other one.
It's not so much weapon damage. It's more like when you fumble, what happens to your weapon? If it breaks,
yeah.
it gets damaged. It's not like in some games they have like the weapon gets weaker and weaker as you use it. You have to repair it. This is less. This is more like it smashes to a million pieces kind of.
Yeah, this is my article. I'll chime in a little bit. I guess it's the precursor to critical fumble.
Yeah,
rolls.
It's fumbles. Yeah, that's what it is for sure. So table 1 is just a fumble table, which is fine. Table 2 is like a fumble table and adds weapon damage, like weapons get broken and stuff. And then table 3, I don't really know what the point is. I guess just to add a random time element to it.
Well,
like it'll break within days, or
exactly. But what it is, this is a DM table.
So you'll be like, in 3 turns, it's going to break.
Yeah, like you'll be like, your sword looks chipped, but it seems to be together pretty good still. And then 4 turns later, you're swinging it. Oh, guess what? Your blade goes flying across the room.
Yeah. But I didn't hit anything. Yeah, well, it was broken. Remember when you smashed it the other time?
So that's what the table 3 is. And I really like the table 3 because I think adds a nice little element of like, what WTF.
Really, I was on board for the fumbles because officially in the game at this point in D&D, it wasn't a thing.
Yeah, there was no critical hits, no critical fumbles.
But everyone kind of knew that was something that everyone wanted. And then the what would happen to a weapon? Okay, that's fair. It takes out it's a level of parity for everyone. It's not like, oh well, you stab your friend in the back of the head, and you're like, oh, that seems a little rough. And then your fiance, you say, oh well, yours slips out of your hand, and oh, you cut it with the other hand. But table 3, that's a lot. That's a level of sinister where you can just sit and snicker to
love it.
yourself
Screw
behind the screen,
makes-
just looking.
You know what it makes me think of is the Forged in Fire weapons tests.
Yeah.
Like when someone takes a little bit of damage, like, oh, you took a little damage, and then the next test, like whack 3, whack 4, 5, ching. So that's what that reminds me of, and I think it adds. I hate to say a sense of realism, but maybe it does.
Yeah.
Like where you
Randomness. That's
yeah.
I could see it adding flavor, but imagine like you had a Vorpal sword or something and it gets destroyed just because you rolled a 1.
Yeah.
It's kind of unfair.
I laugh menacingly.
I would think magic items would be immune to the normal.
No, they mentioned magic items getting destroyed.
I would say magic items damaging itself on another magic item, but not on a regular item.
Oh.
Like a Vorpal against like a +5 shield.
I do like the idea of, because even it mentions like even a 16th level lord is not much of an opponent wielding a +1 sword without a blade. So even your enemies could get this too, which is kind of fun.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of neat to use it for them too. Oh shit, I rolled a 1. Now I gotta the big bad just lost his main weapon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You definitely have to go both sides with this thing if you wanted to be fair and have a fun time with it.
Right. So your players could also see the big bad guy, his mace head just like rolling down the corridor. Yeah. Okay. Good call. So Pat, what's your next article?
I am actually out of articles because you and Rob both tagged team mine. No, it's just this one was also very heavy with module, and there was a lot here. There's a lot of Q&A in this one too.
Mm-hmm. I got a couple more though.
Yeah, so
okay.
Come back to me when it's ad time.
I got a couple ads too.
Rob's gonna be running this show. He's running the table on us. Okay,
believe me, this is it. I blew my wad. The rest of these episodes, there ain't gonna be much.
he's chalked up his cue. He's ready to school us all. So okay, Shark, where are we going next?
Oh yeah, we'll go back to page 6, I believe, out on a limb, and it's going to be the which one is it? I think it's the Chaotic Mess one.
Okay,
yes.
Yeah.
This guy's complaining about how illogical all the module winner adventures are.
What page is it again?
Page 6.
It's 6 PDF.
Yeah, page 4 in the book.
Okay.
This guy's complaining about how illogical and bad all these modules in the magazine are, that the competition winners, and then the editor comes in to respond, and you think he'd be like, well, screw you, like, they're good. But instead he goes, well, we really just take the best of what we're given. They're not professional, obviously. He's like really craps on these people who made these modules. I'm like, good one, Jiquette. And he says they aren't that good because they didn't bother editing most of them. And what do you expect for free? Like, these are little responses. Like, and somebody else also says complains about how not all the articles are liking in the issue, and he says that they value consistency over quality. I'm like, this guy's insane.
Well, I can understand the free modules aren't free. They come, but
you're paying 50 cents for them.
Yeah, we are paying 50 cents at this point. But I've got to think that their modules would be at such a demand. Like, even like you're crawling through the desert and someone with a canteen shows up and they just shake
if you're complaining about these modules, don't play them. Play your own modules.
Yeah, I couldn't figure out where this guy's coming from either.
Yeah, like Jesus.
I would think you'd be happy for even in a drought a little drop of water.
Yeah.
But in fairness, I thought to myself, did I read through the modules with enough, trying to understand that maybe they are bad? I don't know.
I think all modules are bad. Like, even the official ones aren't very good back in the day here. Like, they're not written great. You have to make up your own, okay, what does this mean? How do I get my characters? Like, they're very basic. Like, none of the modules are great.
They were written. I hated it.
You can't, since I grew up with all these modules, you have to take them with a little bit of grain with anything and just kind of adapt them to fit your purpose.
Yeah, but that's what this guy's kind of saying, like, these ones are exactly how these ones are, but you shouldn't have to do that. It's like, no, that's how the official ones are. Like, they're not that, you know.
I mean, you can't, but you can't write for something to cover all your bases. That's why it's got to be slightly painted with a broad stroke.
Yeah. Well, we never use modules. We always just wrote our own stories. But
we did both. I mean, it was always nice to have a module ready to go.
I appreciate modules much more now. Like, in more recent times, I've used actual modules, like in other game systems. But back in the day, we barely ever... Once again, you could buy a module or you could buy a book. Like, we'd most likely buy a new monster manual than it would be to buy a module, you know? So I think that happened a lot more often.
Yes.
Money didn't grow on trees back then, Pat, unlike you.
Well, we thieved a lot back then.
And well, we didn't even have access. We had to wait until they were in used bookstores to pick them
conventions.
Up. Yeah,
we'd go to,
it was,
at the convention. You're like, I could buy a module, or I could buy like a ton of miniatures.
That's when you grew up in the Yukon, and you got to wait for the dog sets to come in.
That is true. That is true.
You know, at least in Chicago, we just walked down to the nearest game store. And
there's one in every block.
We put the module we wanted in our jacket.
Once the rolling gunfights subsided, you just ran out and purchased and ran back.
We threw a flashbang in and just let's go.
Okay, well, Rob, since you're running away with this article, what's your next? You don't
have any more either, Jack?
No.
Oh, okay. The other one's on page 76. It's a quick one. Electric Eye did a test of all the different.
I took this test.
And it's the best. My favorite one, though, I just want to mention this one, is part 4, number 16, today's microcomputers. What is Microsoft? Like, that would be a question on a... Microsoft's so ubiquitous now that it's so funny. Back then, it's like, what is Microsoft? And the answer is all of the above. A. It's all of the above now.
It's just A.
Yeah, so it's so funny. I like that one. But
what is 18 though? It's 18 basic. Basic was the most.
I would
say it came with the trash AD DOS and all that stuff.
Well, that's the thing.
That's what I learned.
What is the most popular? Who knows? Maybe Fortran was.
Well, I never learned Fortran, but I learned Basic.
Everybody learned Basic. I think we learned it at school.
Yeah, C+ is what I learned after Basic.
I never went that far.
No, I gave.
Like, I was supposed to remember who the founder of Byte magazine is. I was supposed to know that.
Well, at the time, but
maybe it was famous. Yeah, who knows?
22 is a hard one, though. What is the fundamental circuit in a computer memory? Is it RAM or ROM?
Flip-flop.
It's the flip-flop. It's the Matrix. Mr. Anderson.
Yeah, the Matrix. Anyways, that was the quiz.
And the best part of that article is the little cartoon dragons that were forever just pestering us throughout the article. And this one, he's farting. So, like, that's a plus.
Do you know why these dragons are all over the book?
Because it's Halloween.
No, it's from the What's New comic book on page 78. This isn't one of mine, but I could explain it. This is the Phil Foglio and his wife Dixie. They do a little comic, but the whole thing is they get rid of they've having dragon problems the whole time in this comic book. So they finally get this guy to get rid of their dragon, and then so instead of getting rid of it, he just sells them all off. And then at the very end, so all these dragons in the magazines are one that they sold off. In the end, they get their aunt sends them a gift saying, "Oh, we think you'll like this," and it's a dragon again. So they're gonna have dragon problems still. But that's why there's dragons everywhere, is because of this comic book or this comic strip, which is kind of funny. Foglio just taking over. It's like a Sergio Argonis in the old Mad magazines. Those little things everywhere. I love those.
He could just do whatever he wanted, right all along the bottoms or on the sides.
I loved it.
No one could stop him. He was a madman.
So I'm feeling Foglio is drawing on that. There you go. That's all my articles. I'm done. I'm spent. Now it's ads.
Okay. So, Pat, you must have an ad, and you better not use mine, because if you do...
I got 2.
I got 1, and we're going to go to page 33.
Yeah, I think that's mine. Oh, no, mine's not 33. Oh, yeah, it is 30. 33 is mine also.
bottom.
The excellence in metal.
Oh, that's not mine.
Things-
Mine's the one beside it.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
I was gonna say.
It's that ad is just literally a white square with black writing.
Some text.
But the thing is, I don't know what it's for. Gaming pieces, it says.
Yeah.
You have to
Just
send this
send
person a self-assistant envelope to find out what it is. But yeah, Stormbringer. Big.
Yeah, Stormbringer. The thing is, I forgot that Chaosium actually had the Elric and Stormbringer license for a long time.
Yep. They kind of built their name off Stormbringer after Rune Quest?
West.
Yeah.
There's so many rune things, I don't remember which one's which. But yeah, they had the Elric license, and there's quite a few of them, so this is a big one.
I mean, surprisingly enough, I never played it, though. But I read a lot of those Michael Moore.
This game, I guess, is like super like intense. Like it's crunchy. Like you think normal games are crunchy, this is super crunchy. That's what I've heard about the Elric games. So Crunch-licious. But yeah,
Crunch-licious.
I think pretty soon, maybe within the next year, we're going to be getting a certain game from Chaosium, so that'll be a big one.
When you said the page number and I looked down and I saw the Chaosium symbol in the corner, I went, oh, did I miss, is this Call of Cthulhu coming out?
Not yet.
And I was like, oh, because I would have, if I'm in charge of that episode like I am in this one, and I'm in charge of who's doing what, I'm taking it. And I'm just going to go, oh, that's some little game. So anyways,
some stupid game.
And then I'll just throw it over to Pat so he can just start, and you'll sit there and stew.
No, I won't. I'll yell at you.
Well, there's a first for everything. Okay, so that was both of yours.
I got another one, but
you have another one. How about I be the meat in the sandwich that is the two my lovely compatriots. Oh, Pat's starting to nod off. Uh-oh. Okay, we're gonna do this quick then. We're gonna go down to 84 PDF.
Oh, 84. Right at the end. Oh, look at this one. That's full color and an actual person.
And you know what?
Why is he ending the quest?
You got the prize.
Because he's searching for something. Now, I know there's no such thing as Getty's photos at the time. This can't be just a stock photo. Someone had to have, art department, an ad house. They
paid for this guy. Yeah. I think I figured it out. I think this is a picture from a porn egg that they edited out the girl.
Whoa. Well, we can't air any of that, Rob. That was highly detailed, highly inappropriate, and yes, the implications that was a. Well, I can't go into it. I can't.
Yeah, we can't even talk about the sword hand comments.
No, loincloth, girding loins. Anyways, I'm gonna have to. I'm the adult in the room now, and I'm gonna have to call this. I don't care about your last ad, Rob. It could be a charming anecdote. I don't care.
I've been censured.
We're wrapping it up, and I hope you learn your lesson. That this is a lesson to you.
I'll be better in the future.
I hope so. Okay, well, so, ladies, gentlemen, I want to bid you adieu. Thank you for joining us for the Dragon's Tome. Come back next week when we do another one. I've been Jack.
And I've been Chopper.
And I'm embarrassed.
Bye-bye.
I'm so sorry. You're lucky you didn't see what I said. It's terrible.
It's just inappropriate.